All right, how's it going, guys? We've got some Special League, 4-star and below arena battles. The last one we did was sort of like placement battles. We weren't really facing some of the top competition. So in these matches, we are looking at Guardian and above. So I think it's 5 in a row Guardian above players. So we'll get a little better sense of the meta, what kind of runes people are running, that sort of thing. It is a fast 5, so I'll be speeding it up so you don't have to watch at regular time. Some people like watching it as I'm making choices. Some people like watching it a little faster, so this one's going to be sped up. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm currently in the top 0.5%, rank 800-ish, so kind of give you a sense of what we're looking at here. We're going to look at the 5 most recent matches. I'm kind of right when I broke into Guardian. Let's speed it up just a little bit. Our first match is, I believe, the G3 player here. Yeah, I can't read that, but G3, and he goes twins, which is interesting. Let's slow it down here at the pick and ban. So I'm going with my Draco, which I think is a good choice. He's immunity, he's random buffs, he's my fastest swift set right now. Double safety in Chasun and Triana, and then the Lynette for another speed lead. We'll see how that works. I think what's her name? The blue Iris? I can't remember her name. Anyway, that seems to be a pretty popular pick. For that speed lead, but I'm trying Lynette this time just for fun, because she kind of does what Iris does, in that she hits everybody and maybe will stun. She just doesn't quite bring as much to the table. She has a heal, it's just on her third, and it's a passive. So let's see here. I'm going right after the boomerang. That was the Lynette third skill. She's ruined on my Ethnos rune, so she's very critty, and of course at crit, it's like 95% crit. And it hits pretty hard. She doesn't have crit damage though, so it's not like a damage build, but still not bad. I banned out the Chakram and allowed double boomerangs in, which I think if someone's going to bring the twins, you got to ban one or the other kind of. So in later matches, I'll intentionally bring 2 twins to hopefully allow them to let through my Grego, but we'll just kind of see. So there's the Orion. Here's my Chakram. My Chakram is ruined tanky just for support, kind of. But most people don't know that. Like, I think most people build her damage, especially if you're not going to re-rune her from PvE, which is one of her main uses. So she tended to get focused a lot, which was fine because she was built pretty tanky. This whole team's kind of tanky. So we get the third skill again. We get the stun on the Despair as well, and we're just letting that boomerang sit there asleep as long as possible. And then we're going into cleanup mode. So kind of lucked out there with the way the stuns fell, but that's kind of how RTA goes, especially this special league. It's very stun dependent. We get a G1 player. Let's pause it at the pick ban. My same basic principle here with the Triana Chasun. They're just on really good runes and they bring nice sustain. First pick the Chakram this time. I don't know. It seems like a good first pick. It's a speed lead, so it kind of pushes them a little bit. They picked a Rebecca, which I had to check the Rebecca and see what it did because I don't remember. And I couldn't even tell you what I read. Like, I looked at it, I was like, okay, and then I moved on. So I don't know. Not sure why the Rebecca was the choice here. So we buff up with the Draco. One thing to note on the Draco is look at how he's got a defense buff. With his random everybody gets a buff thing, sometimes that can be really, really useful. Like I've had him put randomly speed buff on Garo, which is fantastic. Defense buff on anybody's good. So I kind of like that component. I can see where it messes some people up in their AD, but for me, I'm okay with that in RTA. One other little Draco trick is if you want to keep him in his immunity, use his second skill even if you don't need it, because he might proc out of his own immunity with his first skill, which sometimes I would do that to keep him immune. Little Draco note. That was a pretty quick match. Okay, looks like we're going into one against another G3. This guy's in the triangle team. Triangle. Let's take a look at the pick ban here. I picked the same exact team because I was like, well, that worked before. Let's do it again. He picked an interesting team, really threatening me speed with Tableau and Frigate. And then the Iris is his only form of sustain, but it's great sustain and control. This one's a good match. I remember this match. I remember just watching it and being like, I'm faster than this. I don't understand. But he's gonna run laps around me. I really, really like this comp he ran. The combination of Chilling increasing his team speed and Amduat decreasing my team speed, it puts the speed gap at like 60%, and it just feels like I'm slower than dirt. Like I'm waiting on my 260 speed units to finally take a turn, because really they're not, I mean, if we both started at 260 and he went up 30 and I went down 30, it's a brutal gap, and it worked really well for him here. You can see I'm just controlled big time. Not getting to do much. And these are some of my best runes. So this guy built a great team. I was sort of scared and impressed. So you can see, just no turns. And he's got enough control in the Frigate Stun and the Iris procs and the Despair off Amdwesh, just fantastic. But as long as I have Grego, I can't quit. That's one thing I realized in Special League is Grego can one-shot, like, he can like get a double kill, I guess. He can kill 2 things at once with his second skill if he gets a little bit lucky towards the end. So I hang in there. I hang in there with Grego until the bitter end. I've had a couple of matches swing the other way. All right, so we've got another G1 here, Evil Gummy Bear. And we're going to pause it. So this is a cleave team, obviously. I think most good cleaves that I've seen feature Faye as their speed leader. And even in regular arena, not just in 4-star and below, Faye kind of makes it go. Because cleave needs to ignore defense. And if it doesn't ignore defense, you can just be very high defense and kind of just sustain through it. So Lucian, Faye, they're kind of the cornerstones of the cleave teams. The Dova is really cool. It equalizes the speed of the slowest monster, so it allows a fat Lucian to be a speed fat Lucian, which is fantastic. So the choice for me here is I have 1 speed lead and 2 bar boosts. My thought was, well, maybe I'll go first, right? But I have to decide who to ban. So I ban out Faye for the speed lead and the ignore defense, and then he's got the Garrow into Chloe, which means I'm going to go second. Unfortunately, he's got a 30% speed lead. He banned out my speed lead. So we whistle up. Here's an interesting thing about this match. So first of all, look at the buffs that Draco gave. We got speed buff on Triana, speed buff on Draco, and attack buff on Grego. Kind of cool, huh? I think Draco's kind of neat. I'm tempted to play around with him in regular RTA, but I don't know if that's smart or not. But anyway, the Lucian is invincible, but you can still afflict him with status effects. So my goal now is to control the Lucian, even though I can't actually damage him. So I'm like, sleep, slow, sleep, but he won't sleep. And his turn bar keeps increasing slowly. I'm like, sleep. No, I just take a little bit of his bar. Can't quite do anything to him, unfortunately. So he's going to get a Lucian turn with attack bar. 8k, 8k, 8k. Pretty good. So he murders my healer in Triana because she has a defense rune. Whoops. And almost kills my Orion and really injures my Draco. There's Grego doing work. You see how he just starts murdering people? If you have a Grego and he's max skilled, man, he's something else because he brings his own defense break. Like, how many bruiser DPSs bring their own defense break? It's pretty rare. And he brings a slow. And he's got a lot going on. He has the drawback on the healing, but Chasun kind of negates that. So we go into another G1 match. This is an interesting one. Whenever someone brings Swadam and squishy stuff, you got to make a choice. There's that girl. I can't remember her name still. Yeah, I still can't remember. But he's got the speed lead, the blue speed lead, and he's got the fire speed lead, and he's got the Hodam. I don't know. The Hodam is a problem, but then I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I choose here. I ban out the Nuker, and I'm just going to try to run laps around him. Being kind of opportunistic here, going after whatever is defense broken. It was Chloe for a little while, so going after Chloe, because I can't kill anything until that Hodam is dealt with, so I'm going to have to start nuking stuff down. In my brain, I went, oh, why don't I kill Garrow? That's an easy kill. So I go after Garrow. I believe I learned something about Garrow in this match. Oh, yeah. he'll narrow escape before he'll trigger Hodam. So all I did is give him 50% bar and nothing else. So I learned something there. I changed my mind. I'm like, okay, that's bad. I switched back to the Chloe. And unfortunately for me, the only healing I have is Ravidi. Raccoony. Ravidi's the yellow one. The only healing I have is Raccoony, so that's not quite enough, especially against a Garrow hitting that hard. I'm kind of slowly cleaving him down with brownies, which is kind of weird, but I don't think it's enough. I think I get Garrowed in the face. Yep. So learned a little something, but I think even if I had known that, I think I still would have lost. I think I banned wrong. I think I could have banned that Hodam, given me more kill opportunities. That Hodam let everything live a little bit too long for me. And I don't know why I picked Grego first pick. I just like him, and I guess that shows when I first pick him. Let's take a look at the pick ban. So I ban out the Tableau. I'm not a fan of that speed lead and the go through immunity business that he does. So I was just like, we don't need to deal with that. I'll deal with everything else. Let's see if that works. I've got both twins this time, which is very rare. Grego and Chisoon. He banned out, I don't know. I don't know why he would do that. But this is very rare. So let's watch the twins go to work. Oh, first turn kills. They're so great. Okay, so Amduat is back, and now he's doing Lapis-y type things. I'm like, I'll just kill Amduat again. He's almost dead. They got the stun on the Grego, which is nice for him. Thank you, Chisoon, for healing through heal block and giving me attack buff. So they're working on my Boomerang, and I'm working on his second DPS, regardless of, element disadvantage. Like, I gotta kill those DPSs. Oh, he killed my Boomerang. But I think I'm okay here. I'm pretty sure I'm okay. Yeah, so I killed the DPS. Now I'm like, okay, I gotta kill the Reviver before they all come back. And we just go to work. And it's handy that I have elemental advantage with Grego as well. All right, we're going to take a look at the runes real quick, so I'll slow it down. I've probably shown these runes before in different videos and stuff, but might as well show them just in case you haven't seen these videos. So this is my Shayna. She's about 1250 defense, 23,000 HP, and 250 speed. There's my other Boomerang. She's on my Mei Huang's runes, so it's sort of a tanky hybrid set. There's Chisoon. She's on my Molong's runes. That's why she's really well runed. Really, really well runed for Chisoon. Well. And who else we got? My Triana. I'm going to mess with my Triana a little bit for rune removal. I like the resist. I feel like the resist is really helpful, because if she resists like a stun or something, she can save another person out of the stun. So she's sort of a 2-for-1 half cleanse kind of a thing. But I'm not a fan of that defense. She's a focus target like crazy, and I need to fix that defense. That's too much defense, because she's basically defense broken half the time, it seems like. So I'm going to give her an HP rune. Just got to find the right one. All right, the Orion on Swift Focus. I'm pretty happy I was able to make a focus set for him. 291 speed. So pretty fast. Decent accuracy. And the Draco's on my fastest Swift set, 306. Normally reserved for Bastet. It's just got all the stats. I think it might be my best set I own of anything in terms of efficiency. So that was a quick couple of matches. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we're wrapping up the special league. I think I'm going to finish G1. Every time I got kind of close to G2, it was like not happening. I would face a C3 player who's just better than me, or a G2 player that was better than me. So I was like, take your pick. So I'm happy with the G1. Pick up some of those points. Maybe buy a skin at some point. I don't know. Maybe I'll buy a second panda skin whenever that comes around, if I ever pull a Fenyang. So that's the plan. I haven't spent one of those points ever in this thing, so we'll just kind of see how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and I will catch you next time. Take care.